I'm here with Dave Cooper, the founder of Community Reinvestment Foundation, CRF. Tell me a little bit about CRF, its origins. How did this idea come about? What is CRF, and how does it connect to the idea of global missions and funding global missions?
CRF started out as a housing company, not for profit. In 1992, Tim Shrout, we had lunch together one day and wanted to know if I would be interested in getting involved in the affordable housing side, which I knew nothing about, but I
Sure.
said sure. We had an opportunity through this grant program, to acquire properties.
Okay.
And so we started out, we went Tennessee, we were in Alabama, we had contracts written, 19 as I recall.
Wow.
And we got the first one closed, and they did away with the program.
Wow.
So this was months that we had spent.
So you're 1 for 19.
1 for 19. Our batting average wasn't real
Wasn't
high
very
at that
good,
point. And so that was our beginning. CRF was actually started, we attended Lakeview Church, and Tom Pano was a very
Force of nature.
Yes, for raising funds. And so every Sunday that we went to church, it was obviously there was missions involved, and so that's
Sure.
how we really got involved. From the beginning, our whole purpose was to raise money for missions.
Okay.
And so 50% of any surplus cash we have at the end of the year is given to missions programs.
Wow. 50%. And over the years, there were some lean years, obviously, but
Yeah.
the Lord's been good. And what's that added up to over the years?
Well, I don't have an accurate number, but it's around 20 million.
$20 million given to missions, because you started with the idea that we're going to give half away,
Yes.
even when there wasn't anything to begin
Yes.
with. And I want to ask kind of a two-part question. Why 50%? A lot of people say 10%, 20%. Why 50%? How did you land on 50%? And then why global missions? Why not food deserts in downtown Indy, or the Boys and Girls Club, or the YMCA? Why 50%, and why global missions?
Well, the 50% just came out of discussions at the board meeting. We had a board of directors, and during that conversation, that's a number that just kind of stuck out. Again, we didn't have big dollars at the time.
Sure.
50% wasn't a lot of money, but it was a number that we agreed that that's what we were going to do from now on. And and the reason the other 50% was to go back into housing, so it's not like we were taking any of the money out.
Sure.
We were putting it back into
Putting it back
growing
into
the business.
Yeah. Why global missions? Why not something else? Why not the Boys and Girls Club?
Well, we had a couple of pastors on our board, but we came out of the church. We started out of the church, and the church was very strong in missions giving, foreign missions giving. And that's why we settled on that. Now, we do give money to other entities,
Sure.
like you said, Boys and Girls Clubs, that type of thing, but that's over and above the 50%.
Sure. Well, it's an incredible story of faithfulness. Again, I've been a sideline observer for a lot of those 30 years. I've known your family my whole life, pretty much, and
Right.
and I know firsthand that you could have been successful in anything that you set your hand to. So to see you put the Great Commission ahead of your own personal finances, your own personal ambition, is really something. It's really special. What does it mean to you today to know that all around the world there are businesses missions, there are Bible schools, there are churches, there are CrossFit gyms, there are entities all around the world in dozens and dozens of countries sharing the good news about Jesus, that wouldn't be there, or at least wouldn't be as well equipped as they are if it hadn't been for the fact that you started CRF. What does that mean to you today?
Well, it means everything.
Sure.
Because that was our objective and our goal. And to see now, when you go over and you see where those dollars are being utilized, it just means everything to you.
Sure.
And I wouldn't change anything.
Wow.
Wouldn't change a thing.
If I were a young 28-year-old entrepreneur and I walked into your office today and said, Dave, I want to start a business and I want to be kingdom minded and I want to give money away to missions, what advice would you give me as a young entrepreneur of how to do that?
Well, I think really the only thing I can give is my experience.
Sure.
You know, if you truly believe that's what you want to do, then you just have to keep working towards that goal. And there's so many opportunities for young people nowadays to start businesses, and there's opportunities for them to get into apprenticeship programs and learn how to run a business, which is important. They're not going to start a business if they can't operate
Can't
it.
run it, yep.
And they're not going to give money to missions if they can't
Sure.
operate it. But I think you've got to keep that goal out in front of you at all times as you move forward. And you're going to have setbacks, but if you believe that the Lord's put you in this position and that's where you're going, then He's gonna guide you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, maybe give us a like, a comment, share it with some friends. If you're interested in more resources from the Stone Table, you can find those at thestonetable.org/start. Before you go, hey, check out this other video. We'll see you next time.